Okay, you ready? Okay, guys, welcome to our coach talk. We're going to give you guys some info tonight about more so on why we're coaches than what we do as coaches. We can answer any questions you guys have, but we'll be doing a group later this month to give more info on what we do as coaches and the more details as that. But yeah, we're just gonna start and give a little bit details about our stories. I'm just gonna introduce myself. I'm Jamie. I've been a coach for almost 3 years. At the end of this month, it'll be my 3-year anniversary. I'm a diamond coach. I met Tiffany here in Punta Cana almost a year ago on our Success Club trip together. And yeah, I live in Colorado. I'm from Minnesota. I like to spend time outside, and that's a little bit about me. I'm going to let Tiffany introduce herself quick.
All right, so my name is Tiffany. I am a one-star diamond coach from the Madison, Wisconsin area. I've been a coach for about 4 years. I'm trying to think what else I can say. I'm a mom. I have a 6-year-old at home, a wife. And unlike Jamie, I'm kind of a homebody, so I live about 15 miles from where I grew up, and I'll probably never move away. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So I am just going to tell you guys a little bit about me and my story. So I'm going to start all the way back when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I was always very active. I played multiple sports. I played hockey all the way through my senior year of high school. But before that, I was playing multiple sports. I had really bad eating habits, though. As our family, our dinners were mostly just like casserole style, stuff like that. We went camping a lot, so we went to fast food a lot, almost every weekend, in and out of the fast food. My parents love pizza. It's literally their favorite food, so we ate a ton of pizza. So I just had really bad eating habits, and I have always, since as far as I can remember, have been uncomfortable, just in my body, in my own skin. I've just always been uncomfortable. In high school, I started realizing that I was had depression, got diagnosed with depression and anxiety, which also didn't help my weight. I was just kind of roller coasting my weight. Throughout high school, I was still very active. I would even go to the gym before or after my hockey practices. My eating habits still weren't great. I love food. I still do. I always will. I'm a foodie. But I just didn't know how to balance it back then. I tried to lose weight. I tried to go to the gym. I've tried weight loss pills. I've tried all sorts of things. Tried to count calories. None of that, it just never worked for me. So throughout high school and college, I really roller coastered a lot and tried to lose weight, tried to figure it out, tried to get my mental health right. And I just really couldn't do that. So about just over 3 years ago, I moved to Colorado with the guy I was dating at the time. We just up and moved, and it was kind of crazy. And shortly after that, I started this fitness journey with one of the girls that I lived in the dorm with. I saw her before and after photos, and I just was like, oh, I need that. I'm always trying to lose weight. So I was ready to jump in. And so I started that in March of 2015, and within my first week, I lost 7 pounds. So that was insane. My first week, I lost 7 pounds. I was feeling so good, and I messaged the girl who invited me, my coach, and I told her, I was like, I don't know what we're doing, but I want to do what you're doing. I love this. I'm feeling so good. I just want to share it with the whole world. I just wanted to share it. And she's like, okay, cool. You can make some money, blah, blah, blah. So I signed up as a coach after my first week. And within my first 3 weeks, I lost another 5 pounds. So I lost 12 pounds my first 3 weeks. I lost a crazy amount of inches, and I've pretty much kept my weight off ever since. After my first couple years as a coach, I was more of a hobby coach. I met a lot of really good friends. I've never had a big group of friends, especially since I had just moved to Colorado. 2 months after I started my coaching journey, and only 5 months after I moved to the state, I broke up with the guy I moved with. So now I'm in a new state, and I had no one here. And thank goodness I had started this coaching journey, because I just met all of my coaching friends in this big old group on Facebook, and they knew that I was going through this breakup, and I had like the most support in the entire world. And it was awesome because I wasn't used to that. I didn't used to have all that support because I never had a big group of girlfriends. And with that breakup, I was also kind of, up and down with my weight. Dating people always made me gain weight for some reason, just because you get comfortable. But thanks to this community I was in after that breakup, I was able to lose that weight and be more comfortable and confident than I have been ever. And usually after a breakup, you're kind of going the other way. So that was a really, really good support system for me, and that's something that I wouldn't have gotten elsewhere. So my first probably 2 years of a coach, I was more of a hobby coach. We posted in the group about the different types of coaches. So I was more of a hobby coach. I just did it here and there. I didn't really focus a ton on it. I worked 2 jobs, and I still did make a decent income off of it to help me pay extra bills and stuff. But I wasn't really building a full business because I wasn't putting my focus into it. As some stuff happened to me in the mid to end of 2016, and I just kind of hit my rock bottom. I had a really bad breakdown. My job was really bad. I just couldn't be in my job anymore, amongst other things. And at the end of 2016, I walked out of my job, I quit my job, and I decided to go all in as a coach because I have really bad anxiety, and being in that corporate serving job, it just was no good for me. I can't deal with my managers. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm going all in this coaching business, and the rest is kind of history. I have had some other jobs since then. I waitress like 1 day a week for a couple months. I was nannying the last few months, and I actually just lost that job today. So I'm incredibly thankful that I have this to fall back on, because if I didn't, I would be without an income, and at least now I still have this income. And yeah, I'm making this my career. I really am. I'm planning on making this career to support my family and to support me, and to not ever have to worry about losing my job again or being in corporate America. A couple other reasons I won't ever probably quit is because I know how good I feel now. I used to never have confidence. I used to hate how I looked, and I just want other women to know that they can feel good too, because I know what it feels like to think you're never going to feel that. And doing what I do, I can help people overcome that, and it's just a great feeling. Like I said, I have a great support system through this, and the community and the friends I've met. When we do live events, and I always meet new people there. It's super fun. They're all really good people because everyone's literally just trying to better themselves. And so it's just a really great community of people. Like I said, I have my big picture in mind. I don't want to have to send my kids to daycare. I don't want to have to go work for anyone else again. I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do what I want to do. And, that's just why I'm continuing to do this. Another thing I wanted to say was, when I started as a coach, I only had lost 7 pounds. And you guys, I have lost about 30 now total. And so I was definitely not at my goal weight when I started. I was still 25 pounds overweight. So a lot of people think you have to be like, a fitness model to be a coach, and you definitely don't. The best coaches are really the ones that are on their journey, because then everyone, you're just on your journey with everyone else. So that's all I have for now. Tiffany?
Perfect. Awesome. So my story and my journey starts a little bit different than Jamie's, because mine really started after I had my son 6 years ago, and I had gained about 60 pounds when I was pregnant. And after my pregnancy, I just assumed like the first 20 pounds just fell right off. Probably because my son was 10 of those pounds. But I guess I really thought that I was going to bounce back. I was 25 years old. I was just expecting, that's what happened to all of my friends, all of that stuff. But about a year and a half later, I was still, at, probably about 25 pounds over my pre-baby weight. And I was, looking in the mirror and feeling uncomfortable with myself. My husband and I were still pretty newly married, had a brand new baby at home. I was working all the time. And I was just unhappy with myself. So I had a friend of mine invite me to join a challenge group. I'm sure you guys have been invited to. And it was really eye-opening for me because I had been going to the gym and I was doing, the elliptical stuff and, the treadmill and stuff like that. And I was basically busting my ass for like an hour and a half to 2 hours every day for about 6 months, and I lost 5 pounds. And I was getting, fed up with it, and I was getting frustrated, why am I not losing this weight? So when I was invited to this group, I was kind of, I was skeptical about it. I had been working out, why wasn't I losing this weight? But in that group, I realized that, I hadn't changed anything that I hadn't changed my nutrition. I was still eating out for lunch. I was still, eating out for dinner, eating out for breakfast, all of that. So, that group really opened my eyes for me. And when I started making my dinners at home and really watching what I was eating and adding in vegetables and, all of that kind of stuff, I ended up losing 10 pounds in that first month. So then I was all in. And at that time, 21 Day Fix was about to launch. So I signed up as a coach, knowing that this program was going to be amazing, because I had already been watching what I was eating, but this was really going to hone in on my nutrition and bringing in the containers and everything. So I jumped right in, and I knew that if I could help a few people every month, one, I would get my Shakeology paid for. I would be changing lives, right? Like my life had already been changed. I lost 10 pounds in a month, and I couldn't lose that in 6 months before. So I was just excited to get going and all of that. So I worked my business part-time at first. I ended up losing 60 pounds with 21 Day Fix. And I'm trying to think, sorry. I keep getting messages on my thing and it's distracting me. But yeah, so I ended up losing 60 pounds with 21 Day Fix. And I, all of these women were, coming to me like, you look great. You can, people were telling me, they could tell me that they could see it in my face. They could see it, in my posts, that something had changed in me, not just physically, but, really deep down, something had changed. So that's when I really ramped up my, coaching career. I was still working full time, 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. I, had my son at home, in daycare and all of that. And I just ran with it. So about 2 years ago, actually, it'll be 2 years in April. I went to work one day and came home without a job. I was let go from my job. Things weren't working out. And I bawled my eyes out. It was like the most devastating thing ever. And I called my husband and he's like, Tiffany, you hated that job. You dreaded getting up every morning. You dreaded, dropping Ryder off at daycare every day. You absolutely hated that job. Why are you crying? You have Beachbody. This is your new job. He's like, you don't have to worry about getting another job. Get over it, whatever. And at that point, I went full time because I had this backup, to go off of. And I've been a full-time coach for 2 years now. It's been great because, like I've met Jamie, the friends, the community, the support, taking that, couple extra dollars each month and turning it into a full-time career, a full-time gig has been amazing for us. I get to stay home with my son now, through summer break. I don't have to pay daycare bills anymore. I'm here in the morning when he gets on the bus. I'm here at night when he gets off the bus. And it's gotten to the point now where I don't even let him ride the bus home, and he hates me for it. 6-year-olds are sassy. But I have the opportunity to pick my son up from school every day. So I'm going to take that opportunity. And it's one of those things I think, like, if I hadn't have started this, or if I wasn't, if I had decided that this wasn't something for me and I wasn't still doing it, I think, I wouldn't still be working out every day. I wouldn't still be, making the conscious decision to eat healthy every day, to feed my family, healthy meals every day. And I don't know about you guys, but something that I really think about is kind of like my family history. Like, there's diabetes in my family. There's high blood pressure in my family. There's heart disease in my family. Like, if I can take any chance to one, stay away from that myself, and two, keep my family away from it and teach other people about that. I mean, that's the greatest job ever, right? And that's just something that I think about. Like, think about any job that you guys have ever had. Like, is it your, part of your job to stay healthy and to take care of yourself and, to, do your workouts every day and, fuel your body the way that it should be so that you're not getting sick and you don't have to take that sick time. And the greatest thing is like, I don't get sick time with this job, but I'm also not getting sick because I'm taking care of my body. So, that's just kind of my story and why I'm still here and why I'm still doing it. And yeah. So I guess right now, does anybody have any questions about anything?
We never have questions.
You guys can put them, in the comments here, or just unmute yourself. If you guys, even if it's not a question or something, but you just have, a takeaway from this, definitely speak up and let us know.
Okay, so we will be doing, like I said, another group in 2 weeks to be giving more info on like how we make money and all that good stuff, like what we do and all those details. So if you guys want to join us in that, we'll make sure to get you in there so you can learn more. But also if you have any questions, just feel free to ask so we can get them answered sooner, because a lot of stuff we can answer one-on-one. So if that's all, I think we will probably wrap up. Unless you have anything else, Tiff?
No, I don't think so.
On staying motivated, like as a coach? Yeah. Write out your why. Write out your why and read it every day. You have to have a deep why. I'm going to say, like, when I first started, I was 20 years old and freshly single, basically. And I really want to stay home with my kids someday, but like that didn't drive me when I was 20 and freshly single, because like I don't have kids and I'm not, so everyone else's like whys are like, oh, so I can stay home with my kids. And that was like my why at first too, but it didn't really drive me because it wasn't really my current situation. Yes, it always like drove me for the future. Like I do want that, but it didn't drive me enough at first to like get going. So I think just like sitting down and like, I know, girl, you want to be your own boss. You've told me that. So just like thinking that and knowing that, but digging deeper than like, I just want to be my own boss. For me, I don't want to have to, I don't get along with managers. I don't. Like, I'm sassy. I just never works out well. So I can remember that. Like, I don't want to have to get a job for that reason. Not even if I like the job. Like, even my job I had now, I love this nanny job. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, we don't need you anymore. So it's like, I don't want to have to do that like ever again. And that drives me. I almost like just wanted to sit in my bed all day today because I was crying and I was like, oh, I just lost my job. And I'm like, whatever, I can go make more money. Like, I can literally go sit down and make myself more money. So that's what I think. Staying motivated is just knowing your why. I don't know, Tiffany, if you have anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I always think about that too. And especially, for your coaching business, I always think about my family and my son and, him having to go to daycare, and then daycare is expensive. And, my husband works very long hours. He does a lot of traveling for his job and stuff like that. So having one stable parent that's always there, is another reason why I do this too. So, you just gotta, like Jamie said, you gotta really dig deep and look at your situation in your life and what you want from that. And that's going to be what drives you.
For sure. And personal development will keep you going. For real.
For sure.
Anything else? No? Cool. Well, we'll wrap up. If you guys have questions, let us know. Otherwise, thanks for hopping on. Bye.
Bye.